Welcome to the first Ronin radio broadcast. The night watchmen are here on a Sunday night, overlooking the world of Oni and looking to grab the stories that we find throughout the week, discuss them together, and talk about the project that we love so much. We call this thing Ronin. I think StarLordy, who we have on the show, the CEO of Oni Force, is someone who brought this term back into sort of circulation amongst the project, the Ronin, the masterless samurai, with this sense of justice and duty. And so I've brought along my fellow host, Bobby-san.
Hello, hello. You all probably know me around the Oni community, leading the Rise with Wagmi-san show, and just an avid community member, and just happy to be here and talking about not only Oni, but also about manga and comics and even animation. So looking forward to getting this started here.
And joining us on this Nerd Fest is our guest host, artist and creator Vert, who we're super excited to bring on. You'll see some of his work in some of the advertisements for this show. Welcome, Vert.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Completely stoked to talk about comics and get deep into anime here.
There's so much happening in the space, and I think that that's part of the reason why we took this responsibility on ourselves as community members, especially when it comes to Oni Force. There's just so much happening in the space, so much happening with this project. Details could get lost, right? So it's like really crucial details that could limit you from fully experiencing what could be the best turnaround story in Web3. And so to help guide us on the overview of what that vision looks like and the passion behind it, we're inviting two top-level guests from the Oni Force community, StarLordy CEO and William T, Chief Strategy Officer. Let's bring on StarLordy. StarLordy, welcome to Ronin Radio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.
StarLordy, you've been on so many podcasts, and I remember you saying you're going to talk to everybody. As soon as things got right, you were going to talk to everybody, and you're a man of your word. You've been on the road, hitting the pavement, talking to the people, going to Asia, hitting a lot of the key areas that you said you were going to do. Has that drained the life force out of you?
Oh man, I'm pretty lucky. I've been born with a pretty high motor, but definitely the 2 weeks, or in 2 months, I went from LA to New York to Japan, and then Miami, and then Indianapolis, and then Bali.
Whoa.
All for different holder events and stuff that you all put together. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, and so I would say that that definitely got me by the end of that trip. So I'm holding up pretty good. You know what? Honestly, real talk, I think what I learned from that is number one, is really hard to manage a project from 15 hours ahead if most of your team is on West Coast time. I was literally on calls in Japan and in Bali at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. And then you have to then do work so that your team has the stuff they need before their end of day. So it was wild, man. I didn't even get jet lag once because I don't think my body ever knew what time zone I was in.
You just kept going. No matter what time it was locally, you kept going.
Jet lag.
That's the passion. That's the passion that we all see in you. And that started from an early place, I think. I think, like many of us, you grew up with comics, but you kind of took that a step further. You had a real passion for drawing comics.
Yeah, definitely. That was my first dream as a kid. Turned into more of a film passion eventually, but I never lost that. I obviously always loved comics, and it's my happy place. And I don't know. Now I'm really lucky that I get to kind of do everything I love in one project.
I get that. Now, what does bringing Oni Force to the big show, San Diego Comic-Con, mean for you?
Well, obviously, it's a big moment for the community because we were the first project to premiere at Comic-Con. I was going around saying we're the first project to return. Well, actually, we are the first project to return, but we weren't the only project to be there. I mean, Cool Cats, Pudgy is going to be there. But I think I'm very bullish on that because that's a sign that Web3 IP is finally taking real strides to break into the Web2 universe, or the rest of the world, the real world, as we like to say. And so for us, it's a chance to showcase some our IP. Especially, I'm most excited about Oni Hunter X because that's a community-driven project. So I think we can certainly say that we will be the first NFT project with a community developed IP that is premiering, and that is a special thing because that doesn't even exist in comic books, period. So, you know, in a
First of
lot,
its kind is pretty cool to say, regardless.
it's huge, you know, for the holder. I'm most excited for what the holders get out of it, you know, and so expect us to make a pretty cool announcement there too, which I think will
And I've seen some of that that teaser art in that you know, secret channel for all the 77 holders. It is, oof, I love it. I'm excited to see the rest of it and the dialogue and everything all panned out. It's gonna be very exciting.
I mean, we're very lucky because you know, we got Master Paul Jenkins, to write Oni Hunter X for us after the community developed it. So not only did the community put it in such a beautiful place, I think what the community did really well is they took all their passion and knowledge of anime and comic books and manga and helped shape a character with a very compelling background and, you know, backstory and motivations, and set the world up, and you know, did a lot of the initial world building. And then now we have a truly master craftsman to help take it home and give it that AAA quality polish. So this is not just some comic that like virtue signals that we, you know, oh, we did it. Like, no. Like, we did something cool, and like we're giving ourselves a chance to actually launch into the market with something special, which is the goal. You know, the goal isn't to just launch IP and be in comic book stores. The goal is to launch something amazing that actually grows our audience and exposes our brand to the rest of the world. So, you know, it's a moment, you know, and honestly, like, even with other Web3 projects there, first of all, that's a good thing, but also we're still the only Web3 project that's actually launching comic books in comic book stores. So, you know, like, when you think about it, it's like our core mission from inception. Comic book was literally the first thing that was promised to the community, right? Like, when the project launched, it's like this new ownership group has given us a chance to fulfill the promises of our forefathers in a lot of ways. And so, you know, this time, I think what makes it special, I guess, is that the community truly gets to embrace their destiny of being part of it. Because I know, like, when Oniforce first launched, there were so many talented community members that, you know, really contributed their skills to this project and were really ready to help take the brand to the next level. And unfortunately, the previous ownership was just not ready to capitalize on that. But now we are. So,
but that's what's great about you and being a fan. You're bringing a lot of really great ideas to the table, not just, you know, in as you said, the community development of it, bringing on somebody to give it that AAA polish, but also in the distribution side of it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think we're not just gonna be we're not just gonna be in comic book stores, but we're gonna be in bookstores around the world too. So I think through our partnership with David Uslan and IP3, we're expanding our distribution footprint. There's way more bookstores around than comic book stores, so I think it was already pretty cool that we're going to be in comic book stores. Now we can literally give a chance to a kid in Paris, France, to Dubai, to, you know, South American countries, whatever. Like, they'll literally get a chance to get exposed to our IP, which is huge. I mean,
it's huge and it's growing, and that's the thing. Bobby and I were actually talking about this earlier today. I went into Barnes and Nobles, and they just redid it. There's like 3 huge cases now of manga, and I was like, whoa! It's just like they're recognizing the growth in this area, and I think that you know, obviously Oniforce is well positioned for it. And again, I hope, and I'm sure that this isn't going to be the first time that we talk to you. I just wanted to really just get a brief overview of, you know, your passion and the things that you're leading with into Comic-Con, because I know it's going to be a great thing. We're going to have a couple of episodes that lead into Comic-Con. I wanted to bring in William T to talk about, you know, some of his strategy overview of making Comic-Con really impactful for the Oni holders and the community, as well as those who love manga and anime as well. So thank you again, StarLordy. Really appreciate your time. You're so gosh darn busy. You're like man on the streeting us, and we love it.
I love you guys. You guys are amazing. What you're starting here is amazing. I'll be on anytime you guys want. Next time I'll get it right. I won't be walking around on the street.
No, I love this vibe. This gives it such an impactful, like, you know, we're getting the latest vibe.
It's like a tracking shot in a film, you know. I'm like doing a monologue. But,
exactly. Love it.
But in all seriousness, I really love working. And thank you for everything that you give to the community. So yeah, I'll be back anytime you want.
Thank you, StarLordy. You get the Oscar. Be well. All right, now we're gonna bring in William Tong, Chief Strategy Officer. Thank you, William, for waiting and hanging out with us. I'm so stoked to talk to you. I got a chance to meet you with I Am Complex when he was doing DesignCon a long time ago. What is the relationship there between you and I Am Complex? How long have you guys known each other?
Man, you know how it is in crypto, a week can seem like a year. So in that sense, I've known him for decades.
Oh yeah.
But in calendar time, I think we've known each other for a little over 2 years. Been through thick and thin, some battles, some wars. Just absolutely amazing guy. His art is timeless. The second I saw it, I think many people saw it. That was just the art that really drew people to him. He's an artist in every sense of the word. His heart, his spirit, and that translates directly, like, through his fingertips into what you guys see. I remember hearing a story about when he first started drawing the collection. He actually drew it so large that they couldn't really even fit it into the metadata correctly.
He's doing like such a masterful product. Amazing. I think William might be rugged. He's having some technical difficulties. So while he's relogging in, I just want to review the people that William T knows and has helped is astonishing. Okay, he is advised for NFT chain projects for high celebrity profiles such as Justin Blau, Steve Aoki, Rob Gronkowski from the friggin' Patriots, nice. Jake Paul, Lime Sunday, Mad Dog Jones, Mike Winkleman, hello, Beeple, Calvin Harris, Don Diablo.
Very nice. Very nice.
Right? It's just crazy.
A lot of musicians too. I love that.
It's absolutely insane, like how many people. I'm gonna bring him back just so I can embarrass him with more of these names, because it's astonishing. Really, no, I don't think people understand this about you. How many people you've helped along this way in getting their projects into NFTs. Just rounding out, you know, Jen Stark, artist Nadia, Pussy Riot, and Snoop Dogg. Come on,
a legend.
This was way back at the beginning of the really NFT wave in Clubhouse. Me and some friends at the time, we started a club called NFT Club, which was the first one. And we launched a lot of the NFT projects for the names that you had mentioned. So from the very beginning, to see firsthand how these projects were built, how they were marketed, what showed me was the most important was really community. So when StarLordy and I are thinking anything, whenever we're planning or thinking of strategy, we're always looking at the community. What can we do to really make sure that we're building the foundation, that we're adding value, that we're protecting the people that are with us?
So how many of you celebrities are going to be joining the community?
Well, we from the very, very beginning, we've been as anonymous as possible. We don't want to dox anyone. We want people to come and go in freely. But we're definitely talking to some cool people. For us, celebrities, not celebrities, each person is important. Every single person that's a part of the community is equally important. We appreciate each and every person. So although we won't be naming names, just know that there's some really cool people that are holders, cool people that are looking at the project. And as we go to Comic-Con, it's a chance for us to really expand our reach into the mainstream space. That was something that we learned 2 years ago, just how important these conventions and this type of event is. When you go to these networking events, you'll meet executive producers, you'll meet directors, you'll meet amazing writers, amazing artists, just people that really control a lot of different elements from beginning to end of, for example, how an anime is produced. They also know other amazing people that can help get anime and other productions produced. So to meet these people and talk to them is a great chance for us to get more exposure for our IP, which we want to help all of our holders in our community to really have this go as mainstream as possible. As we've seen with the incredible job that Luca's done with Pudgy Penguins and the Amazon sale, once you start taking the IP into the mainstream, that's a chance for just really exponential growth. So for us, it's simultaneously grow the community within the Web3 NFT ecosystem while bringing in as many new holders as possible. This for us just allows us to build a really strong, solid foundation. So Comic-Con, hopefully we'll meet a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of amazing artists that we can bring into the enclave just to add more value and enrich everyone here.
Yeah, you're a veteran of Comic-Con. You've done 5 or 6 Comic-Cons. I've done 10 Comic-Cons in a row. I had a good stretch. And you're right. There is this environment in which to network and expose IP at a tremendous degree. How do you, as chief strategist, how is it that you're trying to get above the noise? Because there's going to be a lot of stuff out there.
I've always been a real face-to-face kind of guy. Ever since I started as a real estate broker over a decade ago before transitioning into advising and strategy. Just meeting people face to face, you can really feel their vibes. They can feel your intentions. Last year when I went to Comic-Con, for example, I met the creator of American Dad, and he just basically told me some advice on how he was able to get his idea into an animated show. American Dad has been quite successful to run for many seasons. So to be able to meet someone face to face randomly at a party, call it serendipity, call it chance or luck, whatever you want. Just for us to be there right in the sauce, that allows us to meet a lot of cool people. And we're just basically looking for those serendipitous, amazing interactions.
And that's invaluable in the space. Like as we try to grow and reach new audiences, like I especially like the comment you made about like Luca and bringing the IP to Amazon and a wider audience. I think like with comics here, and I'm sure with what other things that we get into as a community will have that effect, and it'll be really cool to see and fulfilling as well as a holder.
We hope so. And as you guys know, StarLordy and I and the entire team, OFR team, we've been doing heavy outreach into new markets as well, specifically a lot of Asian markets. So for us, it really is to grow an international community of holders, just to make sure that we're strong as possible. So when we have an ONI holder, for example, go from California out to Japan, immediately there's community there. And as we've learned from NFTs, community is something that's very hard to put a price on it. It's really priceless. To have an instant bond and an instant connection and a friend from just going to some quote unquote random place that you may not have known anyone before. So for us, to continue to build those connections and really add value, that's something that we're striving for.
Love it.
Amazing. Vert, do you have any questions for William?
The thing that comes to me, I guess, is more maybe a personal question about what you like about the art of the project itself. Like what does it invoke in you when you look at the art of the community that you so eloquently said that you wish to support?
For me, it's the absolute details. For a lot of people that are on the OniForce team, from beginning to end, we just are very detail oriented. So we're trying to figure out how it is that we plan things out, how it is that we can execute in a way that really performs, that really does something impactful. So I remember this one person, they posted their Oni on Twitter. They said that it was their favorite one in the collection. And what immediately drew my eye was the 7 earring. So as you guys know, the 7,777 in collection, it was very intentional to use the number 7. But to see the way that Brian had centered the art with that 7 earring, right dead center, gold, it was just incredible. Aesthetically, it's really refined. At the time, there weren't a lot of NFT collections. And since then, there have been hundreds of NFT collections. But to see the art of OniForce versus a lot of the art that's come out, you can just see that Brian has been incredibly detail oriented. Through talking with StarLordy and a lot of other people on the team, you can just see when they work, when they operate, how detail oriented they are. So for us, we're not trying to. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
so go ahead. Sorry, continue.
We're not trying to do things on the fly, although we're sharp and we're problem solvers. It's to try and make sure that we're as planned out as possible. And I think you guys have felt that ever since OFR came in. OFR, like, you can't run a business of fun of that size without being incredibly detail oriented and precise. So for us to have that type of engine behind us, now we're a McLaren. So we're however many, I'm not a car guy, however many cylinders are pumping I love McLarens. However many cylinders are pumping in that car, that's how many cylinders we have pumping for us.
7 at least.
7 at least. But also like the art was really fun because you had a burger face. So it was
I love that one.
Very cool, amazing just art, but also really funny Easter eggs and really funny like little hidden things here and there. So for me, the detail-oriented part of it, the fun of it, the soul, the spirit, the creativity, that's something that for me has stuck out ever since I first saw the art. And luckily for us, there have been a lot of amazing art collections, of course, but Oni Force still is just really, really beautiful.
Iron Complex is so good, though. Doing the ordinal project to give everybody else a fair chance, are you putting one hand behind his back and tying it so that he can only use one hand? How is it that you're challenging him for the ordinals?
His art has really always been amazing. So for us is to figure out how it is that in that resolution size, because ordinals use less data, how we can take his art and make it just as amazing as possible. But once again, for us to grow the community, because there's a lot of people that have done Bitcoin ordinals, their version of NFTs, digital collectibles, and there's people that are trading them. So for us is to really create an iconic collection in the original cryptocurrency. Oni Force is a OG in a lot of ways in terms of mechanics, in terms of art, in terms of things that we did. Bitcoin is the OG cryptocurrency. So for us to now meet a lot of collectors and people in that space through the ordinal space to bring them into our community, we think is a good opportunity. There's been some strong collections on ordinals, and hopefully we can be one of the iconic collections in that space. So then in a way, bridge that community with the Ethereum community of our current holders, just so we're stronger. So for us, through the art, through community, through strategy, it's to make sure that we're making our foundation as strong as possible going forward.
I'm so stoked about the ordinals. It's like, it's going to be so landmark, I think, in terms of having the quality, as we're talking about on ordinals. How is it that you are advising at the moment, though, given the marketplace, given how tough things have been?
So one thing that we're doing is finding as many strategic partners as we can. We've been researching for a while. I'm not sure if StarLordy has said when it was that we first inscribed, but once you guys look at the provenance, you'll see that we've been working on this for a while. So this isn't something that we're just launching out of the blue. It's something that we've been, taking a lot of advice from people that know the space. Ordinals relatively new in terms of overall NFTs. But of course, writing, the original blockchain. So for us to talk to these people that have been collecting ordinals for a long time, that understand the technology, learning from them, that shapes how it is that we're launching. We're talking to different platforms. An amazing one is Magic Eden. They do a lot of ordinal trading. They launch dozens of collections. They have a lot of experience. So instead of us just launching something, it's talking to platforms that are leaders in the space to figure out what works, what doesn't work, so that helps us shape what it is that we're going to do. So when it does come time to launch, we're as prepared as possible, and we've made the necessary adjustments. So it's not something that will shock the community in a negative way.
And being detail oriented and taking the time and effort to plan out something like is so important in this space. It was definitely obvious back in March when I was there. Minty was also there for the LA get together, where if you were there, you were one of the first people to know outside of the team that they had been working on ordinals to some degree. We weren't sure how much, just 7 characters that we knew of. But it seems IM Complex has another legendary art collection coming up. You've already got the regular Oni, and then you have the frames as well, which were so refreshing. And who knows what's next? I'm sure it will be quite refreshing. And I'm sure since it will be refreshing, a lot of people will be excited about that in the space as a whole.
We definitely hope so. A number of my friends and alpha chats and groups that I've been talking to, they've just been accumulating here and there in terms of the collection, just so they can add to their portfolio, or they can round it out, or they can have it ready for friends and family should things go up in the future. Not financial advice, do your own research, of course. I always tell people to look at market timing and pricing and see when something feels right for you. But as you guys saw when the collection was first out there, we had one of the largest percentages of unique holders for the collection. So for us, that's something that's of course super valuable to making sure that our collections on Ethereum and on ordinals are bringing as many people into the enclave as possible. There really is strength in numbers. We believe that. So this is something that we're just always focused on.
As Chief Strategy Officer, what are like your top two focuses right now?
So my top focus right now is basically making sure that we're taking care of the community. So from a strategy sense, the moves that we make, are we taking care of the original holders? Those of you that remember, I've been in the Discord when things were very, very rocky, when there's a lot of transitions.
I remember that.
There were people that were stepping up, that were trying to do things, but nothing was really executed. So there was a month-long period where I was just trying to do the best I could to hold the community together, while finding the pieces that we could put into place to make sure that we were then in a good path strategically, so that we could grow. Very blessed and grateful that StarLordy was able to come in here. He's an amazing spirit, really generational talent. Worked on S-tier marketing campaigns and productions, mayoral campaigns. So this dude, incredible pedigree. Grateful that he's worked hard for OniForce and for the community as well. So strategically, number one, definitely taking care of the community. And the second thing is, how do we grow as much as possible in terms of not just the community, but also the IP, in terms of what it is that we're executing on, whether that be putting deals into place, bringing people into the collection, expanding into new markets, or just figuring out how, in this builder market, we can create something that when the bull comes, will be very well positioned. There's an old adage,
builder market. Brilliant.
Right, builder market. There's the old adage that the people that can survive in the bear, they're going to take off in the bull. So for us, we're not waiting. We're doing everything that we can. Apologies for stuttering. I'm low on sleep.
we all are, brother. It's a holiday weekend. We just appreciate your time, that you're hanging out with us and talking Oni, because that's the thing, is there's so much going on with this project. And that's why we wanted to take it upon ourselves to really, sit down with high level, strategy advisors like yourself, who are leading this charge and defining the approach that Oni is taking towards this growth. I think we all sense it. We all know it's going. We're getting, the AMAs, and, StarLordy's hitting 7 amazing ideas, and they're all really fantastic. But he's also chosen really great people to lead those. And obviously we're one of them. And so I'm super excited that, you give us a bit of a slice of your life. And I thank you, because I know you're probably on a lot of caffeine. Just keeping up with StarLordy, I think, is a lot of, work, and keeping up with that motor. But, and again, we hope that this is, just the first of many talks with you. Would love to catch up with you after Comic-Con. I think we're going to have a couple of other guests leading up to Comic-Con to give us a more refined view of the events that are coming, what we potentially could see as holders and community, and what the opportunities are for ourselves, who are going out there together.
Absolutely. That's why we have the Creator Fund. That's why we have, basically a mechanism, a way for us to bridge as many artists and creators into OniForce as possible. And just, like you're saying, for us to go together, to move forward together, that's something that's, of course, super important to us. We're very grateful for each of you guys for being such passionate members of the community. We will always make time for you guys, as long as my body is able to, and technology is working. Sorry about the disconnection. But yeah, we'll definitely be here for you guys. However we can help out, just let us know. In any way, and for us just continue to figure out what strategies can really move us forward. We've seen some IPs take off. There's some anime IPs that are sunsetting to a degree, so we definitely feel that there's space for a newcomer, something exciting, something new. Oni Force,
A newcomer on the block.
a newcomer that's on the rise
around the block. And as you go, part of the show is what is it that you've been watching anime wise or reading manga wise that has excited you, that may be sunsetting but has excited you?
Oh man, with the release of the Slam Dunk movie after like a decade, I started watching the anime again, and I hadn't watched it probably 7-8 years, and to see like how hilarious that anime is, like I had forgotten, like, man, that guy is an absolute genius. In a way, because of the time to experience it fresh, it's amazing. A bunch of times I was laughing until I was crying. So just Slam Dunk. Another one is Blue Streak. That's also an incredible anime. Football is something that I started learning more about, and to see like sports to be presented in such a way that's really dramatic is even beyond actual sports is something really cool. So those are the two main animes that I'm tracking right now. But still a ton of incredible anime coming out of Japan, coming out of Asia. Just very, very exciting times. The industry is growing very quickly. So for us, just to add as much value and light to that space as possible.
Amazing. Thank you, William T. Thank you so much.
Peace out, dude. Nice to have you
guys.
See, like the best dude ever, right? It's like
Super nice.
When I met him, I was just like, he was just so like well-spoken, such good ideas about actual growth of NFTs, not like wild theories or something like that. He's had so much experience. He knows how to execute for all those names that we talked about, from Blau to Aoki to Snoop Dogg, having that experience.
He's not like hedging or bullshitting or just like talking.
These are the strategies, proven in Web 2 and Web 3. So well spoken and so smart. I was super excited to know that he was going to stay, with the team. As you said, he was in those dark times, and to have him continue on with us was really emboldening. I was super excited that he was. Vert, any impressions from our guests today?
They are dedicated, those two. They're really, they're the real deal. They're not just showing face and then like getting off the phone and then just being like, what was that? Right.
Just showboating.
No, they're like grinders and grinders and grinders on top of grinders. And that's exactly, I think that's how this whole community is. I mean, from them to the top, as you go down to other people that are working within the community, we're all grinding in some way and care so like passionately about this community, the anime, the art, all those aspects. So you don't want to ask about the art.
That's right.
What's that?
As an Oni is definitely a grinders community. You definitely got that right. There's a lot of people who want to see
battle hardened for sure.
Yes, battle hardened, and
do
stuff. They want to do stuff in this space. They want to be, the next wave of artists. They want to be the next wave of creators and builders, and they're participating within this ecosystem that is being set forth. And is part of why I even, started getting into Oni was, StarLordy took the reins and did an amazing town hall where he's like, look, we're going to build IP, but we're not going to do it alone. We need the community to do this, to excel and to scale at a rate that's never been done before. And
some people definitely scoffed at that after what we had previously experienced, but it's really been shown that that's real and the intention is there and the connections are being made. So I think those are all great things. And as a holder, I'm definitely looking forward to the future and excited about what's actually happening instead of just being passive and enjoying the art for what it is.
Yeah, it's just like you can hold it. I'm looking at it in my wallet. But no, I have the rights. This is one of those projects. You have the rights to it. We can go and start our comic book tomorrow, guys. And nothing is stopping us. We have these rights. We can do it. And now that we have a creator fund, we have these things that can help empower us as creators, entrepreneurs, and artists. With this project, I think it's supremely exciting. It's just a matter of getting good people together getting those ideas together, go ahead and drop down your anime idea down below, and we'll just make it happen. In the comment section, yeah, just start pitching us in the comment section. We'll just make it happen. But no, I think it's a great time, and that's why we wanted to do this. And we're gonna leave with our sort of anime manga picks of the week, if you will. But just wanted to take the time again to thank you, Bobby and Vert, for joining me on this concept, because again, I think there's so much going on with OniForce right now. I really want to slow things down and really talk about and distill what the opportunities are for holders and community members, because it's massive. It's just there's nothing like this out here in Web3 that has the backing, that has great leadership, that has strategy. And I think Comic-Con is going to be really exciting. So I'm excited to go with you guys and push forward into what's going to be talked about there.
Absolutely. And super glad to be doing this with both of you and getting this started. Because I mean, not only is Oni a big passion of mine, but like manga, anime, and comics is too. So I mean, I'll just go right into what I've been watching recently. I've actually been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for the first time. Hadn't watched it before, and really am enjoying the story. Just give a brief kind of.
Oh yeah. So let's bring some visuals to this bad boy. Let's bring in a clip.
Yeah. So I just want to tell a little about it before I just break into a fight scene that has cool animation. But it's two brothers who are alchemists, and they were trying to get their mom back from the dead, and it resulted in some issues. And now they're trying to figure out how to get their bodies back. So this is just a fight scene. I'll share it here.
That's always a challenge when you're an alchemist and you want to start being a necromancer. That's a
it didn't really work out for them. So so now they're trying to figure out how to get their bodies back. It's a whole story. It's fantastic. I've got about 7 or 8 episodes left, but here is a fun fight scene from the first, I think, 10 or 20 episodes, but really solid here. I'll play it now.
All right.
Yeah.
You're a lot slower than a prisoner, I know! Next. Roa, get the armored kid out of here. Guess we'll dismantle him.
Right.
Hey, Omar! Drop him! Nope. Scratch my ultimate shield. Oh, that hurt. That move would have hospitalized most people.
But yeah, that's kind of like an idea of it. It's a pretty cool show. Great animation as well. I hope it came through well for the live audience as well. And the frames weren't too bad, but really solid show. It's about 62 episodes, so it's not crazy long compared to some animes. And a solid story with good character arc building.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing that. Vert, I know you've been you do a lot of reading. You're always, every time I talk to you, I feel like you have a comic book like within just like inches from you. I'm always like, hey, something, and you're like, oh yeah, like this. Like, exactly. Is this your pick of the week? Oh no, Vert,
you're on mute. Come back to us, Vert.
Okay, how about now?
Boom.
Yes,
we got you.
Okay, yeah, this is what I'm reading right now, by Frank Miller. It's
flip through it a little bit just to show off some of the art.
Well, that's pretty dope right there.
Yeah,
but yeah, the art really is captivating in this, and this is kind of like when Batman started to kind of like have this more of this like vigilante kind of like fierce look, and his attitude was kind of changing when it came to like this comic lore of Batman, because before he was kind of still almost like plastic, and he had like the criteria of what we know as Batman as being this wealthy orphan, but he didn't have this like dark side really. And this comic,
there was definitely some camp before this darker series, definitely one of the darker ones, but
Was
Yeah.
this was
really
this
cool
after
story.
was this series after Lonely Place of Dying when Robin dies?
I think it was, but not too long after. I don't
I
remember
get the
exactly.
change because it's like I sense that change too of like when he started getting really vigilante, and it sort of made sense. I mean, that was a really emotional time in comics to have Robin die in that way. I think he had
And it
passed
was
like once
fan
before.
voted too. That always blows my mind. Like
What's that?
so that was like one of the things back in the day. They had people vote on whether like what would happen. It's in particularly that storyline, and a lot of people decided on like killing off Jason Todd, which was kind of crazy. We'll have to go into that in another episode. It's a cool story.
Let's kill some Robins in another episode. But that's your pick of the week. For what is it that you're loving about it?
Probably just the intensity of the art. I've been doing a lot of like just
The
drawing
colors in that are
and
so
using it.
good.
Yeah, just the imagery is really intense. Really enjoying it. Also, like Robin is like, if you look at it, Robin's like really feminine in it. It's just like a very strange take on all the characters. So I'm really digging that viewpoint. It's also like this is gone, like if you look this up, like it's gone down as like one of the major stories in comics too, like something that's changed comic books. So yeah, just kind of getting like immersing myself in it, and using it as a muse almost to help me to like expand my creativity.
That's interesting. Going to Frank Miller to sort of get the inspiration.
Absolutely.
My pick of the week, thank you very much for my pick of the week was something Bobby and I were kind of talking about Chainsaw Man. It's just like Chainsaw Man
last week,
right? Chainsaw Man is like so BA, but for me, it's like it's also very like over the top, and it's like ultra.
It's kind of out there.
It's a little out there, and so when I heard that Tatsuki Fujimoto had another one shot, but it was much more humanistic, that's when I get interested. That's when I, as a creator, get very as you Vert, I want to lean into those types of stories because that's where I love finding creativity and inspiration. And so so he did a one shot back in 2021 called Look Back, and it's just come out to English, and so it's available now this year in English. It's a Eisner Award nominee this year, and so and for good reason. I was reading it, and then like I read it again, and I'm like, holy crap! There's so many layers here. And I'm just going to share a couple of panels off my Kindle because that's how I ended up getting it. But it's great that this is something that's very intimate. This is like story and art by him, and so it's just like a very personal touch. And so it just starts off, a class. It's very kind of Tracy Flick kind of election. You have this character who really thinks they're the best, and she's the best, anime or say manga drawer in her high school, and kids love her. And you can get a look at her strip on the right there, and it's very simple, and it's just kind of like but she's so oh, who, me, that's crazy. And then she comes across somebody who does another panel, and you can see the difference in art and the level of art. And this drives her absolutely insane. And just taking that mentality into how artists perceive themselves, how artists perceive other artists, and are so competitive in this way, this leads her down a really dark path. And
interesting.
Interesting humanistic path where, it's saying a lot about artists and our relationship with each other, our relationship with our own art. And if you read this enough times, you can see why this thing is so well lauded. There's pieces of this that really relate to, as you said, that as I was saying, like the human nature with yourselves, with an art, but also with time and what art does to time. It's just absolutely fascinating. So Look Back by Tatsuki Fujimoto, the one without the chainsaw. You'll find that it's a one shot, meaning a one shot, for those who don't know, is just a single story combined within one graphic novel. That's just, you can buy that and just be present in that story without having to look for other issues. So that's my 3 pick.
I definitely want to check that out. That sounds really interesting.
Really cool.
And it's, as you said, a one shot, so I don't have to read 20 novels to
This is the hard part. Like when you say like 62 episodes, I get intimidated, man. I'm just like,
Yeah,
no,
no,
for an anime, it's like, yeah, that's pretty low, but you're just like, wow, that's a lot of, that's, 30
it
hours.
is a lot. Yeah, I mean that's quite a few hours.
Some dedication.
But this is why we're recommending these. That's why we're taking the time ourselves to find these things and to bring to the community those that are worth your time. And because there's a lot out there, and I think that that's intimidating for me. Like when I say I go to Barnes and Noble, even for me, I was like, wow, there's just so much here in every genre now. You have to shonen, and then like they're just like and the girl stuff. It's just like there's so many actuated genres now, and so when you step up there, you're like, okay, Akira's in the adult section, but now there's like all these other ones that like I've never heard of, and I have to investigate. And that takes time, and that takes money, and that takes a lot of
way more diverse selection too, which is cool to see. I've loved seeing that happen over time as I've grown up too, like seeing just a couple bookshelves to like multiple rows of graphic novels and manga has been really cool to see that expand even as I get older. I just love it because that's one of my favorite mediums to dive into.
We are on the precipice, gentlemen, of a very interesting revolution in anime and manga, and I think there's a growing appreciation for it. And so, thank you for diving in and sharing comics and the manga and the anime picks of the week. And we will see you hopefully next week. We have scheduled V Dizzle, who's going to talk us through. She's organizing the Oniforce event, live event at San Diego Comic-Con. And so we're going to talk to her about sort of some of the specifics about the event, as well as, what we can look forward to. And hopefully we have another special guest where, you never know on the show. It's just like you can ask them and hope, but hopefully another big time high level guest from the Oniforce team will be here with us to, again, give us another side of strategy, another version of strategy, especially as we work our way towards Comic-Con, where we're going to have a lot of big announcements. We're going to have a big, splashy type of panel and party, and so this team is really set well to do the things that it's talking about when it comes to exposing this property, Oniforce, to a lot more people.
Love it, and happy to be here. And everybody who's tuned in or is listening to the recording, thank you all for tuning in and spending time with us. And hope you all enjoy the picks of the week and guests we got on, and just been enjoyable and looking forward to the future with all this.
Absolutely, 100%. Same thing. I completely concur with you two, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit here amongst my family and talk about the things I love with passionate people that want to build. So yeah, cheers to us, and look forward to seeing more of the community members get involved, and again, appreciate the time very much.
We'll see you on the next Ronin Night Watch.
Ronin signing out.
Peace.